Hi, everyone. Thank you again for joining us here at the Liverpool Connection podcast doing pub chat. We're not at BD Riley's, obviously, as we're saving our energies up for the Boxing Day matches. So we're getting ready for Crimbo. Got Jono and Glenn with me today, and we're going to talk about the Boxing Day match against Aston Villa, getting the league restarted after the World Cup break. We'll get into it. Liverpool's in sixth place right now. Villa's in 12th. Liverpool's 4 points behind United, 7 points behind the Spurs with a game in hand. So all to play for, lads. You guys excited about resuming the Premier League? And it's good to be back, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say. Go on, John. Go ahead.
Definitely excited. Feels like a fresh start, get to kind of start over. And hopefully this whatever bug has been going around the squad is kind of going to disappear pretty quickly. It seems like everybody's getting sick everywhere, all over the place right now. But if we can get we got some players back that haven't barely played for us all year, some midfielders, and so I'm excited to see what Klopp's managed to do with the squad during this break and kind of get things back on track.
I'd agree with that. I think Boxing Day for me is the best day of the year. The fact that there's about 4 games on back to back to back. It's definitely my favorite day of the year, and the fact that it's the first one back for feels like 6 months. I know it's only about 5 weeks. But yeah, no, excited. Similar to what John says, really excited to see some players that haven't played for a while, and just even having like Matip back. I feel like he was massive for us on whatever day it is these days now. On Thursday he was really good, and then hopefully Nunes is going to kick on now, and with him having a little bit of criticism from Thursday night, hopefully he's gonna start banging them in.
You referenced the Thursday night, the Caribou Cup, where we lost 3-2 to City. We've spoken previously. We just kind of saw that as a glorified friendly, getting the legs back in. After a long break, getting the team back together. Cameo from Naby Lad. Ox playing a significant amount of time. So you're referencing that people are coming back that hadn't played all season. And I think it's an important time for the whole team, right? They know they've underperformed so far through these first 14 games, and a little bit of luck here or there, or a suspension early on by Nunez. Things could be a lot different, but they are what they are, and I think both the management and the players know that this is an opportunity to reset and to kind of erase what's happened for the first part of the season and go for it. There's a lot of games to play, and I think that the team is set up to go for a run and close the gap to the top 4. And so your guys' thoughts about the lineup? What projection about a lineup you think?
I'm thinking, I'm hoping Virgil should be available and ready to go. As far as I've not heard anything about him getting the sickness or whatever. Seems Matip should be good to go again, I would think. Don't know if Trent, is going to be available. It sounded like Klopp was saying he'd gotten sick, and obviously we have Milner in there for the City game, probably more to add just an older head, with a bunch of young guys that were in there. So, probably didn't want to put Ramsey in there, mostly because he just wanted Milner in the field, I would think. Whether it's Gomez in there, who can do, I think against a team like Villa, I'm okay with Gomez, in that right back position. He actually showed earlier this season some signs that he could do pretty well going forward in that right back position. He didn't have the greatest game against City, but I think at right back, I feel these days more comfortable with him there than I do at centre back, honestly.
Well, yeah, obviously there's a lot less to focus on when you're playing right back versus center back, the positioning and how to defend, and he's he's a solid right back. He's done that position before. He was on the England camp as a right back originally. So I mean, it's not that he can't be serviceable. But when do we get to see Ramsey? I know we've seen him one game this whole season. So when's this time to play?
He'll play against. He'll probably play against Wolves in a couple of weeks in the FA Cup. He'll probably get a game then.
Yeah.
I think if it wasn't Man City that we were playing on Thursday night, and maybe the timing and all that, then he might have played. But that's probably why. Looking at our midfield, I think, like you referenced before, having Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain come back, and who knows, touch and wood and all that they can stay fit and just to be options for us. But now that we've got them two coming back, it does sort of beef our midfield numbers up a little bit. I know Milner got a little injury the other day. I don't know, has there been any update on that Milner injury?
Right, he's out for 2 weeks out here.
Is he? 2 weeks. 2 weeks around this period, it's like 12 games, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's a
and
bit
Bobby as well, 2 weeks. So
yeah.
with a calf injury.
Yeah. So, but having those midfielders back. I mean, Milner is a blow, but having them around, because there's just so many games around. Well, there's gonna be so many games for the next 2 months, to be fair. But especially with him just coming back. But what would you do with midfield? What would you do with who would you start?
Yeah, let me ask you guys something. So obviously Fabinho didn't start against City. He did come in at the end. Did he show enough that tells you that he's past the malaise he's been under this whole, or do you think he still needs
You can't say that after playing 20 minutes or 15 minutes or what did he play? You play a half.
Yeah.
You can't I don't think you can say that in a half. I thought he done all right when he come on, to be fair, but I don't think I think that's going to be over time, and then having other players back as well. I think Fabinho's been off, but then also the things that have been around him have been off as well, which hasn't helped. So
what do you think the midfield will be for this game?
I think you'll give Fabinho the start in this one. Like I agree with Glenn. I think it wasn't a bad performance second half from Fabinho. I don't think it was outstanding. There was a couple of times where I felt like he got kind of ran around pretty quickly. But City's probably the best midfield he's going to play against, and probably one of the best midfields in the world, right? So yeah, you can't judge too much. Hopefully he's kind of had a rest, some time to kind of get himself together and ready to go. So I think he gives him the chance, he gives him the start. Whether he goes, with that really kind of experienced, strong midfield of him, Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago, or he gives, I could see him definitely doing a fair amount of using his subs in that midfield, a fair amount, right? Whether Elliott gets a half or something like that, I could see happening. Or a Keita, you've got essentially 5 guys there now in that midfield who you would think could share starting minutes, right? Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago, Keita, and Elliott. I don't think Keita would be trusted to start the game yet, but who knows where he's at with Keita.
So the other position then, the other positions are left. Sorry, before we move on, are we all saying, if we're all going to pick, are we all going to say we're going to Thiago, Henderson, and Fabinho?
I'm saying that's probably going to be the lineup, but I'll let you know. Against City, I remember Fabinho getting turned, and then he's chasing the guy trying to foul him and couldn't catch him even to foul him. And so I don't know if he's 100% back yet, but right. Well, let's see. Let's see what happens. But yeah, so I think that will be the tried and tested midfield that has achieved a lot with the team, and I think that he'll start that midfield for Boxing Day. It's just
left wing is the only other position really for me that a bit unsure on. It's pretty much a toss up, isn't it, between, I would think, Carvalho and Oxlade Chamberlain.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you fancy?
With Bobby out, then it has to be one of those two, you would think. So I would imagine, since he was prepared to start Ox in that position for the City game until Ox was sick, I imagine he would try that, and Ox sort of edged it to me between the two of them over the 90 minutes. Although I don't think Carvalho was poor. He obviously gets the goal, but he didn't. He was struggling, I think, in the first 20 or so in that game. So, and I think he's over this training camp, he's been playing Ox there a lot. So he thinks he's kind of ready for that, I'm sure. So,
I mean, without Jota for another month at least, without Diaz for 2 months, we have to find somebody for that left side, right? So, you don't really want to switch Nunez out there and then put Salah through the middle, and you could then bring in Elliott to the left side or to the right side. I mean, that just kind of displaces the whole front three at that point. So he may do it on occasion, but I think he wants Nunez to run through the middle, right? So it'll be interesting to see Ox play on that left, because he doesn't really play up there, or he hasn't really played up there that much for the Reds. Carvalho obviously was kind of signed to be that left-sided player as well, and he did all right, like you said, but he got bullied off the ball quite often, in those areas. So it'll be interesting.
One thing, sort of going on to Villa for a minute. I looked at Villa's team that played against. I think they played Brighton last, and every player that played for Villa, other than the goalkeeper, who's probably still on the piss right now, and Matty Cash, everyone else, no one else went to the World Cup. That even, I think that even includes most of the subs. I think they had I think that is it Den Donker. I think he's from Belgium, who went out in the group stages. So one thing I'm going to say is that then their manager, he's a good coach. He's a good coach, Emery, and he's pretty much had his whole team there for like 4 or 5 weeks. So I think it's going to be a really, really tough game.
Yeah, and I think I heard that they played like quite a lot of friendlies over this break.
They played like 4 friendlies, yeah.
Yeah,
they played loads of friendlies. I think that's a sort of thing of like having that new manager and wanting to drill them. You know what I mean? And when you've got everyone there, other than like the goalkeeper and your right back, you've got your whole team pretty much there. Your forwards there, your midfielders there, so you can work on so much shape work and stuff like that. I think it's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be a really tough game. I definitely take a 1-0 Liverpool scrappy game.
And you're talking about having the team there and for these 5 weeks. Obviously, that would seem to be part of the decision-making process of making that coaching change prior to the World Cup. I was surprised other teams didn't do that. To really have the opportunity to work, like say Everton, or somebody like that to work the team through this time. But you're right, Glenn. Everybody's coming back from different places and trying to mesh again, and playing against a team that has practiced and played 4 or 5 games. It'll be a tough match. I don't think it's going to be the beat down that some people are seeing. My prediction is a 2-1 Reds victory. What about you guys?
It's a hard one, because I do think it'll be tight, because he'll have them well organized, and they won't risk much. They'll stay compact. God, yeah, I would take a 1-goal victory. I'd say 2-1's. I'd go with that. It's probably the most likely positive outcome.
I think it's going to be a 1-0. I think Liverpool are going to win 1-0 in like the 97th minute. So they come off Nunez's arse and go in. It's going to be that type of game. Which hopefully not, because we'll be in Billy Riley's for about 3 days.
Well, let's just hope that we start the game a little bit better, because City had a chance to score in the first 10 seconds of that game.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, and that has been the MO for this team this season. The majority of the games where we have started slow or given up goals early. So hopefully that'll be rectified, going into that. I know that Klopp was happy with the performance against City, even though we were on the losing end. He was not happy about the pressing, the counter pressing. He did come out and say that it was almost non-existent, and so that had to be worrisome for him because that's really our bread and butter, right? To win the ball up higher on the pitch and not allow people to run at our back four. So hopefully, that changes for the Villa game. And like you said, it's Boxing Day. It's a glorious occasion. Everybody's feeling good after Crimbo, and everybody be at the pub. So hopefully the Reds are deliver us another present for the occasion.
Yeah, 100%. We need to try and get this. We need to try and get this episode wrapped up because the viewers may not know, but we've already done this once, and Stephen Johnno's power went out. So we need to get this one wrapped up soon, I think.
Yeah. So anyway,
before mine goes out next.
Yeah, that's right. So we want to wish all our subscribers and listeners and viewers, a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. Thanks for subscribing, and if you haven't subscribed, please do that. Put the notifications on so you can get all the episodes that we're putting out for you guys. For our enjoy. We appreciate